びの時代は終わる。
Hi guys, it's your boy Ambush Whatever here, back with another video, and for today, I'll be doing a new part of what if Deku had all the Artorias, or Ultrias you could say. But I really hope you enjoy this series, and with that out of the way, let's begin the story. We last left off when Izuku managed to get a lot of points in the hero entrance exam, as well as quote-unquote embarrassing Ira, and as well as obtaining the sword of life, or the sword of light, or the sword of origin, Excalibur of life, which now we time skip to 2 weeks. Eventually Izuku receives something in the mail, which Izuku took a look at it and says, "Mom, I received my mail from UA," which Inko was excited and says, "Come on, open it, Izuku." Which Artoria said the same, saying, "Yeah, Izu, open it." Which Izuku just says, all right, hold on." Which they go to the living room and open open the letter. Which there something fell out, a small disc, looking like a hologram disc or something. Which when it landed on the table, it started to play, saying that young Izuku Midoriya, you are here to go to UA essentially, or you have been accepted to UA as a hero student. Which Izuku was very happy that his dream is going to become a reality, as well as Inko and Artoria seeing, because of Izuku having to finally accomplish his dream of becoming a hero, which they celebrated with a essentially just going out and eating, which Artoria ate a lot, but luckily Izuku, because of doing some while in the 2 weeks, within the 2 weeks, Izuku was doing, well, stock market trading essentially, thinking of ways to help his mother in financially, because he thought that it's kind of difficult for just a mother to just raise a kid, so he thought, might as well help my mother early, right? Which he invested in the stock market, which he actually became a millionaire because of it, because of within those 2 weeks he invested in in Apple, Google, as well as Amazon, which because of that he received a lot of money, and it didn't really affect his money so much, as well as thinking of ways to do more to get more money. He started to mine Bitcoin, which with those 2 weeks, he actually managed to fill a warehouse containing Bitcoin and essentially miners, or uh, cryptocurrency miners, which he actually, his daily income would be around 50,000, about $100,000 every day. Which when it came to 2 weeks, he became a millionaire. Yeah, a millionaire. That is not including the stock market trading that he does as well. Which you might be wondering, how can Izuku pay for that much? Well, let's just say Izuku at a young age learned to save and always knows how to invest. So Izuku essentially thought of, why not invest in the stock market and see how it works. But for Izuku's first try, he actually failed. Don't worry, he failed a lot, but he learned from his mistakes and actually learned the trends, which that's the reason how he became a millionaire. Which when Inko found out about this, which after the after eating in the restaurant because Izuku was paying, and the bill was about, let's just say, 1,000, no, about $2,000. Yeah, $2,000, because it was a lot of food. Which which she just says that, Izuku, where did you get the money? Which Izuku just says, oh, I got the money. I got the money while I was while within the 2 weeks. I actually managed to. mo- I actually managed to actually do well in the stock market and actually become a millionaire, as well as investing in cryptocurrency, which is, I've learned the trend that cryptocurrency has a lot of money. So Izuku said, might as well. But to be fair, this is just to I would just keep doing the stock market, but eventually I would need to sell the yeah. Eventually, I would need to sell my miners essentially, because I have a feeling that cryptocurrency is going to die down in the future. So, guys, if you let's cut off for the story for a second. If you guys want to have a state have the best chance of having a good salary, study, guys. Okay, study, or if you can't study, learn tips and tricks to of how to invest and stuff, because sometimes it's you get the right opportunity to invest, and you came out of it like you from rags to riches essentially. But let's continue on with the story. But yeah, essentially that's it, mom. Because I thought of, because you always help me, I thought of that, why not help you, mom? So which Inko was really touched that Izuku was going to so far and risking everything actually, which my some of my peers say that the stock market as well as the cryptocurrency are a gamble, always a gamble. So in this one, I'm gonna apply that logic, which yeah, Izuku still does to this day, stock market and stuff. He does it every weekend essentially, when he doesn't have school, or either after school, or whenever he has some free time. Sorry about that. But eventually, the next after he received the the two the letter from UA, he actually started to prepare for his school and stuff, which it took about a week, because usually, and I this is going from experience, that when you receive a letter, it usually when the school start, it's usually about a week to a month, depends on what date you registered or what date you got accepted. But that's usually it. To which Izuku essentially, Izuku essentially went to the essentially Izuku went uh to change for his school uniform, which Artoria actually wear the school uniform this time. And Artoria says, Izu, I could have just, be in my spirit form, which Izuku just says, well, true, but uh, it's I just can't really decide if it's fine with me if you are in spirit form, but if you really want to, you can still stay in your spirit form. But if you don't want to, change into a schoolgirl's outfit, which Artoria just says, no, I'm still gonna change into a schoolgirl's outfit, but you're the only one that can see me while I'm in spirit form. Remember? Which she just says, all right then, and Artoria changed into a schoolgirl uniform, and eventually Izuku was going off to UA, which Inko just says, Izuku, uh, have you got everything ready? Which Izuku just says, yes, mom. Which Inko just says, do you have your pen, book, bag, lunch? Which Izuku just says, yep, I have them all, except for lunch, because uh, they actually give us in the cafeteria, so yeah. But with that out of the way, I think that should be it. Which Inko just is it's just I'm just so excited. Sorry for bothering you, but I'm just excited that my baby boy is finally about to achieve his dream. Which Izuku just says it's very okay to be excited, mom. Besides, I'm excited too, but I'm just keeping my emotions within so that I don't get, I don't get startled a lot, really. So yeah, which Izuku just says, "My mom, I'm going now." Which Inko just says, "Okay, Izuku, just be careful." Which Izuku eventually went after going outside for some to go to UA. He manages to go to UA within 10 minutes, which he was trying to find class 1A, which actually found it quite easily, not like in the anime or not like in canon that he didn't find it that fast. So Izuku managed to find it real quick. And he eventually, when arriving to class 1A, we see Katsuki Bakugou essentially being the typical jerk he is, essentially. Which Izuku just sits in his seat, which is the typical protagonist seat, which is by the window. Sorry for being loud, but I my mic was in my face. Sorry, but yeah, Izuku just sit in the typical protagonist seat, which was the seat to the farthest right corner by the window, which eventually everybody came in, and including Ochako Uraraka. Ochako was Ochako went to Izuku and says, "Ah, I can always remember that green hair." Which Izuku looks at Ochako and says, "Oh, you're the girl that I saved in the entrance exam." Which Ochako just says, "Wow, thank you for remembering me. The name's Ochako Uraraka. How about you? The name's Izuku Midoriya. By the way, it's no problem. It was really my pleasure to help you. To help you. To be fair, it's just a job of a hero to help anyone in need." Which Artoria, just being by Izuku's side, just nods, and yeah, which eventually everybody sat in their seats and were talking to each other. Which eventually Aizawa came in and essentially said that he's he said that if you want to make friends, you should you should be you should just leave UA. We're here to become heroes. Which everybody just shut up, and which Izuku was already minding his own business, just being quiet. Which Aizawa just says, "My name is Shota Aizawa. I'll be your homeroom teacher." Which which then he says, "Put on your put on your PE uniforms, and we're going to the field. Which let's just say Mina just says, "Well, how about orientation?" Which which Aizawa just says that, "Well, uh, I have I have the ability to teach my students whatever I please." So essentially, no orientation. We're going to orientation, we're going to do a quirk assessment test, which which i- then continues saying that if you're not there within 15 minutes, you'll be expelled. Which one of the students just say, Ida just said that you can't do that. We're here to become heroes. Which Aizawa retorts and saying that I've done it before and I'll do it again. Which yeah, that's true. Aizawa did it before. Which Izuku just listens to Aizawa and goes to the locker rooms and changes. Which Artoria was outside because of uh, even though she was blushing and wanted to go in to the boys locker room just to see Izuku, he let's just say Artoria didn't want to for Izuku's privacy sake. Which eventually Izuku just arrives in the field and starts warming up and stretching. Which eventually everybody came in the in the field, and Aizawa says that, okay, first off, uh, you Izuku Midoriya, because you have the highest amount of points, you are going to throw this ball as far as you can with your quirk. Which Izuku says, okay then. Which Izuku receives the ball and having a pitcher's stance and throws it to the air. Actually, it flew to the air essentially so fast because of Izuku's training and stuff. It managed to go to a about 900 meters. Yeah, 900 meters. Which Aizawa just says, I said no holding back. Which everybody was shocked that Izuku was still holding back. Which Izuku just says, sir, I don't want to cause collateral damage, so I would prefer to just use my normal strength. Which, yeah, that's how powerful Izuku is. That's a powerful throw, you could say. Which, yeah, essentially in the quirk assessment test, it goes as per usual, but Izuku, instead of Izuku being in struggling, Izuku managed to actually almost beat everyone essentially. In the grip strength, he actually beat uh uh who was it? Seijiro? Yeah, Seijiro or something, or Satoshi Seijiro. For or Octo Arms essentially, and in the race, he actually almost managed to beat Ida. He was in second place. Because actually he was in first place because of training with Artoria and stuff. For the long jump, Izuku managed to jump really far, as well as the 50-meter dash. No, not the 50-meter dash, the 100-meter dash. Izuku managed to go into second place because I don't know, he managed to go into first place, having more endurance. For push-ups, sit-ups, well, he managed to do a lot of them, so he caught first place. But inside the side lunging, actually Mineta was the highest or the first place because of his tactic, which Izuku commented saying that that's actually a really good tactic. Which yeah, eventually Izuku eventually everyone minded their own business and uh did the last training quirk apprehension test, which was a ball throw, which Oraka came in first because of having infinity, and Izuku managed to be in second place, which Katsuki, being pissed, starts to run at Izuku and says, Deku, how the hell are you better than me? Which Izuku was about to, was he having a stance about to, to help, to self defend himself from Bakugou, art which Artoria just appears and trips Bakugou, as well as pointing her sword to his throat and Artoria saying that, do that again to Izu, you're dead. Which Artoria having this aura around her, like let's just say this aura of, sorry about that, but sorry, but this aura around her that she has, um that is essentially has the aura of a king. Essentially, if you do something, if you don't do what she says, you're going to essentially die, essentially. Which which Bakugo listens, and actually listens this time, because he doesn't want to die and stuff, because who doesn't want to die? So yeah, essentially Izuku just manages to say, Artoria, Artoria, stop it, which Artoria just says, but he was about to attack you. It's my job as your servant, which everybody just starts questioning, and Izuku just face palms and says, Artoria, we have to talk about this later, okay? Go to your go to your spirit form. Which, yeah, which eventually everybody will start asking, as well as Aizawa. Which Izuku explains that Izuku's quirk, quote unquote quirk, which was, I can summon her essentially as my quirk, and essentially she's a sentient quirk, like Dark Shadow from Tokoyami, if I'm correct. Which Tokoyami just says, revelry in the dark. Which, yeah, Izuku manages to explain to everyone that his quirk is actually quite special, that he actually needs to, yeah, he needs to be, uh let's just say, he needs to be powerful, to not really powerful, to have strength to use it, that quote unquote. Which, to be fair, Izuku doesn't need strength. He means by that he means by he needs strength is to, in case his his servant wasn't with him, he can still defend himself, essentially. Which, after explaining, and Aizawa says, okay, you can go back to your classroom, and I guess open your books and open your books to this chapter and read it, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Which everybody was went back to the classroom, and eventually, because Aizawa was gone, Nina just says that, how about this? We introduce ourselves, because we haven't been introduced that really. Which everybody agrees, and everybody starts to introduce themselves, including their quirks and stuff and their personality. Which, for this, I'm just going to be doing Izuku. Which, when it was Izuku's turn, Izuku just says, hi, my name is Izuku Midoriya. I am a kind-hearted person. My quirk is Artoria. Uh, and as well as me, my personality is being kind to everyone, and being chivalrous. And I one of my favorite things to say is chivalry is not dead, which every girl starts to essentially think of Izuku as a knight in shining armor, essentially. Which Izuku just says, "Well, that's all for me." Uh, which eventually the rest of the people left, or the rest of the class um that haven't introduced themselves just introduced themselves. And yeah, after that, Izuku went home and actually went to his bedroom and starts to speak with Artoria, which Artoria just says, I know what you're about to say, which I'm sorry, but it's my job to to save you because you're my master." Which Izuku just says again with the master and servant thing. I don't like it. Yes, I know that I'm your master and stuff, but still, it's kind of embarrassing. And yes, I registered you as a quirk as Artoria, but really, I don't have a quirk really. Besides, Artoria, I don't want you to get hurt, okay? Just don't do that. I can handle myself. You know that, right? Which Artoria just blushes because of Izuku thinking about her safety. Which Izuku just says of which Izuku just says that if you're wondering why I'm thinking about your safety, because you always have been there for me, essentially, when you helped me, essentially, and helped me become a proper gentleman. You're you're really great to me. You're the biggest help that I have ever got. Thank you. Which Izuku just says to Artoria, which Artoria just blushes, as well as Izuku blushing a little bit, which Inko eventually says, "Izuku, time to eat." Art call As well as call Artoria. I think she would be starving right about now. Which which Izuku looks at Artoria and says, "Shall we?" Which Artoria just says, "We shall." Which eventually they went downstairs and eat. And after that, Izuku took a bath as well. Took a bath. After that, Artoria took a bath, and Izuku eventually went to sleep. Which Artoria just snuggles up to Izuku and says that, "Can I sleep with you today, Izuku?" Which Izuku just says, which Izuku, while blushing, just says that, "Well, sure." Which eventually they sleep, and that's where I'm gonna be leaving it off. Sorry, guys, for pausing a little bit because there was some disturbing, unwanted noises in the room, so I'm really sorry for that. But I really hope you enjoy this series. Like I always say, like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys later. Bye.